Welcome back to the Citizen channel. I hope you're all staying safe and well. And we're going to look back at the first leg of the Champions League semi-final 21-22 on the 26th of April 2022. Manchester City 4, Real Madrid 3. Yes, how can we be disappointed? Well, I'm not disappointed. I would have taken a one-goal win. Of course, how it panned out, we're all a little bit disappointed because we could have perhaps won by 2 or 3 goals in the end. But we can go there. It's half time, but we can go to Bernabeu with a Bernabeu with confidence now, guys, can't we? I think with that one, and we can certainly score against them there again. And yeah, perhaps they can against us, but hopefully the defence might have a slightly better look to it. Although all credit to the guys who played last night in all the various positions. And great game, interesting game, that's for sure. Certainly a great game for the neutrals, no doubt about that. And that's perhaps we get some neutrals at our side for a change, which are usually against us, aren't they? Right, let's have a look at the game. Let's have a quick look at the match. I got 9 right in the team, so I was happy with that. Happy getting 9 right under the circumstances. Of course, Ederson, Stones started. Yeah, not the best idea, but hey, hindsight's wonderful, isn't it? Diaz, Laporte, Zinchenko. I didn't have him in my team. I had Aki there, but hey, what a game from Zinchenko. Rodri, KDB, Bernardo, Foden, Mahrez, and of course, Jesus, who I was happy to see, obviously rewarded quite rightly for the 4-goal haul against Watford the other day. On the bench, Stefan, Carson, Aki, Sterling, Gundo, Grealish, Ferner, Egan Riley, and Betty, Palmer, McAtee, and Lavia. Yeah, may as well put the tea lady on there as well, might we, guys? We get that many on the bench. And who was in charge? Well, the useless referee. We must be a shortage of good referees because obviously this guy did the first leg of the quarter-final as well. Absolutely ridiculous, but that's UEFA, isn't it? Istvan Kovacs at Romania, and he was fairly poor. Generally for us, I thought it was just very poor generally for both teams, but just not a good referee, and we know that. We've already saw that in the Atletico Madrid game. On VAR, we had a guy called Marco Fritz. I don't know what you say. It was involved a couple of times, wasn't it? I'd say it's hard to tell. I've not watched the game back, guys. I'm just reporting back from coming home last night, writing this report up, going to bed and getting up and doing this for you guys. So forgive me and my voice as well as you'd expect from last night. Match report, highlights. I'll get through this as quickly as I can. A lot to talk about. 2 minutes yet. There we go. Mahrez chinks in beautifully from the left, and his cross is met superbly. I mean, KDB ignores the flying foot and stoops to sort of diving header. What a great start for City. The quickest goal apparently in the Champions League semi-final ever, I think I read. So brilliant by Kevin, brilliant by Mahrez. That was 2 minutes. 11 minutes, KDB cross is not dealt with by Alaba, but having said that, all credit to Jesus. I thought Jesus turned him in all fairness. I thought he bullied him. We were talking about bullying the other week against Liverpool at Wembley, weren't we? But I think Jesus bullied Alaba there at the back, fantastic, and made no mistake to make it 2-0. Courtois, just average. He's an average keeper, isn't he? 26 minutes, great. Yeah, there was some other chances. I'm just trying to highlight the best guys. Mahrez had a great chance, but it's a side netting, and Pep was absolutely furious. I just had time to watch the highlights back, and he was livid as Mahrez I was at the game, as we all were at the game, because I thought he could have done so much better. But that's Mahrez for you, and that, it's not always going to turn out right, is it? We've got midfielders and wingers trying to score goals, and it just doesn't always work, does it? 29 minutes, Foden flashes one wide. Yeah, I thought that was in. A great move again up that left, left and Fidel up that left-hand side. Foden perhaps should have hit the target, but there you go. We've missed that one. And 30 minutes, Alaba almost makes up for his early mistake, but shoots just wide at the other end. And of course, 31 minutes, Zinchenko, very similar to Foden from the same side, wasn't it? Zinchenko fires wide as well, the ball fizzing past the post. But then they're back in it, aren't they? 33 minutes, Benzema gets back. Good goal. Could he have been better marked? I'm not too sure. It was a Mendy cross, wasn't it? Volleyed in off the post. Ederson, I'm not going to blame him for that one. I might blame him for something in a bit, or partly blame him. But Ederson, no chance with that one, I don't think. Well taken. That's what Benzema is. Well taken goal. 36 minutes, yes, the gamble didn't pay off. We have Fernandinho coming on to replace John Stones, and yes, moving into that slot that John Stones was in. So, yeah, why not? I didn't worry so much. He's a capable player, Fernandinho, but, at the end of the day, people make mistakes. So let's talk about mistakes perhaps when we get into the second half. So it's 2-1 at half time. I was quite happy with that. I think most City fans were happy with that. 48 minutes, Mahrez again hits the post when you thought it's the sort of goal he would have stuck in the old, for me, that for Leicester and even for us at some stage, but he just hits the post. And Foden didn't react. Well, he reacted quick enough, but all he could do was try and get the ball back on target. And of course, it was cleared off the line, so close to 3-1. But there you go, 53 minutes, you don't have long to wait. And Ferner, a bit of magic from Ferner. He had an interesting couple of minutes, didn't he? He had a bit of magic. Great crossing, beat everyone. The marking was pretty crap by Real Madrid, and Foden headed home. Superb header back the way it came across the goalkeeper. And it's 3-1, happy days. But we didn't have long to cheer, did we? 55 minutes, Vinicius, I don't know what he's called, old Vinny, I'll call him Vinny Jr., leaves Ferner for dead, a superb dummy sort of. Ferner was far too tight to him on the halfway, just inside the halfway line. And Vinny Jr. was just allowed to run all the way. We were 3-on-2 at the back, so we didn't know to try and get across and cover him or cover the middle. You've got to try and stop the player with the ball at some stage, but we didn't. And Ederson, I'm not too sure, not his greatest moment. All right, he'd had his angles, and it was a good goal by Vinny Jr. Another day, perhaps Ederson might have saved it with his feet, or another keeper might have saved it with his feet. But generally, we were punished for Ferner's error, simple as that. And I say, the other defenders couldn't get back in time, and I said Ederson, perhaps. Again, he was a bit sold out as well, but I will partly blame. I thought he could have pulled off a mega save, but he just didn't. Simple as that. 74 minutes. Bernardo, what a strike. I mean, my lad, me were complaining about the Zinchenko was sort of fouled, but the ref, whether he's ignoring the foul, letting the play on, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. It was a proper bit of referee in that, let the play carrying on. And of course, Bernardo hammered it, and I think Courtois just ducked under it. He just didn't know what was going on. So again, Courtois, as I said, pretty average goalkeeper. So we've always got a chance if Courtois in there anyway, let's be honest about it. But superb goal from Bernardo, brilliant goal. 76 minutes, another Mahrez effort just wide. 78 minutes, Modric went up our end, and he had a chance just wide as well. So getting into the last 10 minutes now, and 80 minutes. I saw it from where we were in the south stand, so we saw it was a clear handball from Laporte. It obviously came off his head. His arm was high, and it came off his hand as well. And there's no way on earth, even if the referee hadn't seen it, which he did, that the VAR's not going to notice that. And disappointing penalty. Ederson just stand up, but I mean, he committed himself very early, and it was quite easy for a guy of his knowledge, Benzema. He's obviously played a long time, just to do a simple Panenka, and say Ederson was already going left and committed himself. So that was 4-3. After that, nothing really. Might have had one or two half chances. Nothing for Real Madrid to snatch a draw, that's for all. We had the stupid young fan run on the pitch. Absolutely ridiculous. I assume he had parents with him or an elder sibling of some sort. Absolutely ridiculous. And then obviously the guy who ran on was just... I think I saw him in City Square before the game, actually, but... just idiots, but certainly the kid. Why? I have no idea. I mean, I wouldn't say City were just on a big attack at the time, but I think we definitely had the ball in their half. So it's just stupid. I think you can't blame the child. I'd blame the parents or whoever's with him. If he's on his own, then he needs to be dealt with. I don't care how old he is. At the end of the day, we have to stop this. It's ridiculous. Anyway, key stats in the game. 4-3, full-time. Shots 16 for City, 6 on target. Okay. 11 for Real, 5 on target. Again, obviously a better ratio, isn't it? But all credit to Real. They did have a go, and they got, at least say, with the away goals rules, they'd be quite happy, wouldn't they? But thank God that's not in anymore. Possession 60% for City. Pass completion okay for City, but not our best, but against a quality team. What do you expect? 88% for us and 80% for Real Madrid. And the ratings, yes, I'm not going to be like I did against Watford and give every City player a minimum one. I thought some players on the night didn't quite contribute as much as they would have hoped to. So there will be some players getting less than a 7 today. This is my starting score for most City victories. They'll get a start with a 7. Stuart Brennan's doing the other ratings, so I'll give you my comments after I read Stuart's out. Edison Stewart said a couple of dodgy moments in the first half, and he might have done better for Vinny Junior's goal. And he's just given him a 5. Yeah, well, I've not him down. I thought Edison didn't really contribute that much, apart from him being obviously a calmer head in defence, which is not calmer, but you know what I mean, cooler rather than calmer. I use the wrong word. I've only given him a 6. I just thought one of his most least impressive displays for me. He got, obviously Real Madrid, like ourselves, were profligate, is that the word, in front of goal. Could have perhaps hit the target a couple of more times. And Edison perhaps could have done more with a couple of what came his way. But, I'm only going to give him a 6. Stuart only give him a 5. John Stones, Stuart said, had a hazardous 35 minutes in which his injury problem may have hampered him, and had to be sub. So give him a 5. I'm not going to mark John Stones. I think it'd be unfair to mark him. Obviously, he shouldn't have started the game. Say hindsight's wonderful. And perhaps they thought he was okay, but obviously it became very clear that he wasn't, and had to be taken off. Diaz Stewart said that Benzema wrapped up for long spells. He did, but not long enough. But great strikers always find a way, they do. So he's only a 6. I'm not going to be that churlish on Diaz. I thought he played very well. I'm going to give him the standard 7. It's a semi-final against a cracking player. And for me, he did a good enough job. So I'm going to give him a 7. Laporte did not censor Vinny Junior danger until it was too late. Well, again, you're playing a bit of quality there. Vinny Junior is one of the outstanding, if not one of the best wingers this season in the world, in Europe and the world. So, yeah, it is what it is. But his handball was just unlucky. So, well, I don't know. I don't know why his hand was up there. So I'm not. I will give him the benefit of the doubt, but I disagree with Stuart a little bit there. So Stuart's given him a 7. I've given him a 7. I thought he played very well apart from that. And as I say, when you're playing a quality team, we're not going to make mistakes. So I will give him a 7. Zinchenko, Stuart said, sharp and furious, closing down quickly, and added some top-class value to the City side. I thought it was excellent display from Zinchenko. Asked everything that was asked of him, or did everything that was asked of him. Stuart's given him an 8. I'll give him an 8 as well. I thought it was a great display. Rodri Stewart said, dominating the midfield in a fabulous first half. He did. Always available, usually precise. He certainly was. Yeah, a very, very good performance by Rodri again. Okay, as I say, he's playing a good team. It's not always going to be 100%, but I thought he was very comfortable, busy, and very heavily involved. So I agree with Stuart. Stuart's given him an 8. I give him an 8 as well. Bernardo. Stuart said his hassling of Cruz on the back four was a masterclass. Well, he loves it, doesn't he? Mr. Pirouette there. And he topped it with the sweetest strike of the night. It was brilliant. I say, Courtois, I didn't know what to do with it. So Stuart's given him an 8. I give him an 8. I thought he had a great game as well. Didn't look as tired as he has been. Having said that, look as tired. He's never looked tired. He just obviously, you think he's looking tired because he's such an outstanding player. But I'll give him an 8. Stuart, give him an 8. KDB scored the first, made the second, was exceptional throughout. Yeah, I've been a bit mean with KDB. Stuart's given him a 9. I'll give him an 8.5. I'm just on the fact of I don't want to put him too much above everyone else. I thought he was on fire last night and brilliant. And to say if he's playing with a bit some niggles in his ankle, which he is, and he probably will do now till the end of the season unless he gets a chance to have a rest. On fire, Kevin De Bruyne. Riyad Mahrez, Stuart said, brilliant cross for the first one, missed 2 great chances and should have crossed to Foley. And that's a problem with Mahrez. Brilliant, does some brilliant things. But for every one brilliant thing he does, perhaps he makes the wrong decision on 2 or 3 things. It's not that he makes mistakes particularly. It's just that, it doesn't quite work for him. Stuart's given him a 7. I'm going to give him a 7. I thought it was a great start, but he made too many poor decisions as the game wore on. Gabby Jesus, Stuart said, did superbly for his goal and led the line superbly. He did. You can't be selling him on this performance, no, but I think that's probably out of our hands, isn't it? Stuart's given him a 9. I've given him level with KDB. I thought he was excellent. Gabby Jesus in that role last night. Couldn't do it. Obviously he did fade out the game at times, but that's bound to happen. But when he was fading out, he's probably pulling Real Madrid players all over the place. So I'll take that. So I'll give him an 8.5 like KDB. A great show by Gabby again, and stepped up once again. More of this between now and the end of the season. I'll be disappointed to see him go, but he's doing it while he's there. What more can we ask? Phil Foden, Stuart said, born for nights like this. He was a dancing, prancing menace whose goal was just reward for the torment inflicted on Madrid. Yeah, Stuart's given him a 9. Been very kind to Stuart tonight, hasn't it? I've given him an 8. I thought he had an excellent game. And he was a pain. It was a pain for Madrid, and he enjoyed himself. And the conundrum, perhaps, in this, the last player to get a mark, Fernandinho for Stones up just on 36 minutes, so I've marked him as well, of course. Stuart said he won't be happy with Vinny Jr.'s goal, but acquitted himself superbly in an unusual position. I have to echo that, including an assist. So Stuart's given him a 7. I've got to give him at least a 7. He did his best. One error that did lead to a goal. Very hard to get back and defend that once he made that error at such a high part of the ground as well. As I say, it was a bit for a guy of his experience, but hey, Vinny Jr. is as I already said, is a quality player. I mean, I was perhaps hoping Egan Riley might have come on, but hey, what against him? That would have been a nightmare, wouldn't it? So I'll give him a 7. Stuart's given him a 7. I thought he just generally acquitted himself well, as you'd expect from Ferner, the club captain, of course. Raheem Sterling, no time to mark, was there? I don't remember him doing too much. He came on for Jesus in 83 minutes. And Stuart echoed that. No time for Matt to mark him. That certainly wasn't. And man of the match, yes. Well, it's between 2, definitely. I might have added another 1 or 2 to that as well. But I am going to give it Kev. I'm going to give it Kevin De Bruyne. It came very close between him and Jesus. I'm not going to give a joint one. I'm not going to cop out. I just thought Kev was integral to most of what we did. So our overall record now against Real Madrid is played 7, won 3, drawn 2 and lost 2 in competitive games, that is, not these International Champions Cup rubbish things that they talk about. And goals 4 now, we've scored 11 and we've let 10 in. So hey, it's pretty tight between us and the 13 times European champions, isn't it? But there you go. So Real Madrid going forward, well, I mean, by the time we play them next week, they probably could have not looked at the fixture list, but they probably could have wrapped up the La Liga. If it's not wrapped up already, they've virtually won it with 4 or 5 games left or so anyway. So they would have wrapped that up. So confidence-wise, psychologically-wise, they'll be on a high. We knew the strengths of Real Madrid before we played them last night, and nothing changed last night. We knew the weaknesses of Real Madrid before last night. I don't think anything changed on that score either. So we still know what they are, the strengths and weaknesses. And they will be obviously happy to escape with just a 1-goal deficit. They know that perhaps they deserve to be at least a couple of goals down going into the Bernabeu, but they'll take that on the night, as for them, against a very, very good team in Manchester City, and that's what Manchester City are, and they will take that. They did play very, very. They never gave up. They kept going. All credit to them, the manager and the players there. They played pretty. Tried to play football. It wasn't a dirty game. All not compatriots across the way over there in Madrid. So yeah, a good performance by Real Madrid, but they were beaten by a better team on the night. But they will take some joy back to the Bernabeu. But as I said, we'll talk about City in a minute. But it won't be easy for them. But as I said, psychologically, mentally, they certainly won't be on the beach now that they've won the Liga. Looks like it as I'm recording this. But yeah, that'll do them good. I think that'll get put bounce in the step. They had a bit of a rest. They might be able to rest players this weekend, which City might be forced to rest some, but we won't do it willingly, that's for sure. But they'll be able to rest some players, Real Madrid, and I expect a hell of a game next Tuesday. And let's just hope that second half performance against Atletico by us doesn't come back to haunt us in this one, and we produce a similar sort of display, because I don't know where that came from, but hopefully we go over there. And I'm confident we can get a result. I'm confident we can get another win over there, seeing what I've seen with Real Madrid, and they'll be just as confident as well. As for us, well, I'm more bothered about Leeds now. I'm not even worried about Real Madrid. That's in the future. I'm thinking about Leeds United, and that game last night would have took a lot out of players. I mean, mentally we're happy with the win, but mentally we're thinking we should have won by better. I've seen little quotes, stuff like that. So I'm hoping it's not taking too much out of us physically and mentally, because at the end of the day, we've got to go to Leeds. We've got to beat Leeds United. Simple as that. When we start that game, we'll possibly be back in second spot. Obviously, Liverpool do the business in their game, which they should do. So we're going to be back in second spot psychologically. So we've got to be up for it. And as I say, we've got people like Zinchenko coming in and doing a great job. And if he's asked to do a great job again, we need him to do a great job again, don't we? But so we've got Leeds. And as I said, as far as Bernabeu's concerned, I'll worry about that in the preview next week when I do a preview, because that's what I think about. Let's get on with the Leeds game. Let's get that one. And of course, Stones, I'm hoping that's not put him out now for the rest of the season, risking him last night. Possibility. Hopefully Walker will be back. please, and Cancelo, of course, will return for Leeds and hopefully for the Bernabeu next week. But let's get Leeds out of the way, and then we'll watch my preview of the return leg of Real Madrid. We'll have a bit more talk of psychology and what City players will do and what we need to do to get a result out of that game. But please, I'm just thinking about Leeds at the moment now. The Real Madrid's, we beat them. All right, we beat them. Simple as. Let's move on. So please, there we go, guys. Let me know in your comments. Let me know your player ratings. Let me know any thoughts you have on last night. And the atmosphere was great. Could have been slightly better, but it was pretty good. Nothing wrong with the atmosphere last night. I've been in better atmospheres at the Etihad, but it was excellent last night. So all credit to the fans who turned up and the guys who turned up and bought the tickets that Real Madrid couldn't sell. So that was all well and good. So we go, don't we? So please leave us your comments, guys, and we chat. Obviously, join me to chat Leeds United very soon. Obviously, I'm going to be doing the preview show, which will be out what day? We're playing Leeds Saturday, so the odd show will be out on the Friday night, and the preview show will be out on the Thursday if all goes to plan. And there's a History Boys feature will be going out as I'm recording this the following in the afternoon. I'm doing this in the morning. This will go out in the morning as soon as I can, and then I'll be doing my history show. The history show's back. Not had it for a couple of games because of time constraints. But Leeds United versus Manchester City, April 1991. So I'll take you back to then, and we'll come and join me and relive memories of that day. Or if you were there, and if you weren't there, have a listen back to how we were getting on. As I'm recording this 31 years ago, almost to the day. So come back and watch the history show. Leeds United versus Manchester City at Ellen Road. A great game, good game, interesting game. Come back and watch that History Boys feature. It'd be great to see you. Anyway, let us know your comments, guys. Thanks for watching. I only ask one thing, don't until we meet again. Please stay safe, Blues. Come on, City. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.